25th annual Seattle Hempfest, the world's largest protestival, might even be the world's only protestival, where we got the freedom for the flavor of a fatty, because we're feeling finer than a freckled frog hair follicle freaking freely at the Freedom Fest with this Freedom family.
I came to Hempfest because it's the biggest and best cannabis event in the world. It's volunteer run. I have nothing but the deepest respect and admiration for all of the people who have given so much for 25 years to demonstrate why cannabis should be legal and why we should be free. So I'm here for that, and because it's great to be in a legal state for my first time ever.
Why not?
Well, to enjoy the party. Lots of other people here, great time, 3-day event, free to the public. It's a great experience.
Man, it's just like, it's low-key historic, man. It's like real big event. Represents, you know what I'm saying, that freedom, you know what I'm saying, smoke this kush, you feel me?
Just want to educate people on the coil systems and what we can do with vaporizers in general.
Because we love it.
Been here every year for as long as I can remember.
Yep.
We came to Hempfest because this is a great place for us to reach out to smokers. Our main goal is to help people get off of smoking cigarettes here at Vapor State.
To spend the afternoon.
It's
Tradition. It's tradition. It's like so Seattle. Live here. You have to go. It's so much fun. All kinds of food, all kinds of shops. Look through.
And we're all here for one thing, you know, just to have a good time. Yeah. It's kind of nice to not have anything to worry about. No judgment. Everybody's here for the same thing. A good time.
Because I support marijuana for medical use.
For the legal rights.
Because Hempfest is the best protestival in the U.S.
Marathon asked me to.
Because I missed it last year. And the year before I got toasted so bad that I just had to come back.
Because I love it, because it's about freedom, it's about adults being able to choose the medication of their choice.
To have fun with my friends. To network with people and meet different people.
I came because everybody out here is creative and people are smoking weed and doing commerce and business everywhere around us, and I ran a company to do web design, designcyborg.com, and so I wanted to get in touch with everybody and share some of my creativity because I smoke weed while I do web design, and it's really fun, and it's a great place to be, a lot of positivity out here.
So this is kind of our way of celebrating everything. We come out, we cut out the middleman, and we just try to give some low prices and put some smiles on people's faces. It kind of helps us keep inspired for the whole year.
Shit, man, because it's the funnest event in all of Seattle.
I love Hempfest. It's my 16th Hempfest. I've been coming since I was this big.
Made it so I can protest at the best festival ever.
Oh, because we make the hemp ice cream. Hemp ice cream. Ah!
Because it's there. I love Hempfest. I've been to maybe 20 out of the 25. I remember the one in Gasworks Park. I remember the first one here at Myrtle Edwards when it was maybe only half a mile, and now it's 1.2 miles of hemp-tastic, delicious edutainment.
Welcome to Hempfest. Donations accepted. No donation too small. Keep Hempfest alive next year. It costs $850,000 to keep it going every year. We appreciate your donations. Have a happy Hempfest.
You know, we have changed a whole generation of people and what our thoughts of if you come to Hempfest and see police, and a whole generation of police that see us. We have changed the hearts and minds of each other. This is a magical moment.
I got caught flying with weed in Spokane one time, right? Because I forgot I had some shit in my pocket and I went through the machine. They were like, sir, what's that in your pocket? And I was like, it's a pipe and a small amount of medical marijuana. And he goes, oh, well, that's not gonna affect the safety of the plane at all. My thoughts exactly, sir. Good day. That's all I'm saying.
Landon needs cannabis. He will die without it. And because of all of the hard work of the cannabis community and making noise for Landon and Sanjay Gupta picking up Landon's story, Landon won his right over 2 years ago to be treated with cannabis and not chemotherapy. Yes! He's the first child to forego chemotherapy and still be here with us today. They told us in front of lawyers and CPS that they could guarantee us on their medical degree that Landon would be dead within 6 months without having chemotherapy. I want that medical degree in my hand. I want it. You said I could have it. Here he is. He's alive. Why are these people in charge of our health care? It is up to each and every single one of us to A, be your own advocate, B, be your child's advocate, and do not just agree with whatever they want to do to your child. Do not just agree to give your child narcotics for long periods of time when there is something safer out there. Many of our children, when they finish this treatment, they develop secondary cancer from the chemotherapy. They develop nerve damage in their legs to where they can't walk. They have to use wheelchairs. They have to have organ replacements. They have to have bone replacement. Their bones start dying from the treatment we're giving our children. Please, please, guys, if you know somebody that is struggling with cancer or someone that their child is, please tell them about cannabis. Please tell them that cannabis is a safe, effective, and non-toxic cancer treatment. It can help your children. It can help your mothers, your grandparents. People, we have got to start being advocates for our sick.
Why you playing me, son? Hop on a ditch class, get ass, play in the sun. Live fast, live rap, spray them with guns. And I'm on to give back, save the young.
We hold a sweet spot for a lot of people in their hearts, I tell you, that make this thing happen.
It's got to be, you know, cannabis. I believe the trump card is traditional plant. It's a traditional plant. The government of India has it in their traditional knowledge digital library, and they cite. It's called prior use, prior art, and you know that's what the whole World Trade Organization and all the big money people they control patents and monopolies say you can't patent something if somebody else has already done it before.
If someone ate my whole 1 ounce XXX, they'd throw up, they'd have diarrhea, but they'd also probably get pretty high. So, you know, it's not about the level of THC. Matter of fact, in my stuff, it's more about the THCA and the CBD and the arnica and the tea tree and how those things actually work together. So.
See? It's fun.
I think we should recognize that pharma is the world's most successful industry in the history of civilization. Okay, we've never had an industry that's had so much return on investment, like ratio of production cost to profit has never been seen before. And you can imagine how much of a corrupting influence such amount of profit can have. And I really feel that, yes, the system has been heavily corrupted. Cannabis is just one of the latest of many such corruptions. So.
I will remember that summer I was taking steroids, feel like a man with muscles, and I like you. It's the cops are coming in type of sobering up. Girl, I never learned that I cannot give a fuck. My friends are happy, I'm happy, I'm learned to adapt to a darker kind of humor. I can do it and laugh, and there's beer, coffee mugs, and water bottles, and soda cups, and it's clear as the windows I came through.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They have played a very big role in the recent DEA decision to maintain Schedule I classification of cannabis. And I think, although certainly a lot of there's tons of political problems with the DEA, but it's very important, I think, for folks who are inclined to, public use of science in proper ways and public education of science to look and understand what the way that the science is being misused by HHS to justify the kind of tortured logic that they are using. And it's just essentially yet another, I guess you could say, casualty of cannabis prohibition. We've certainly seen, racial injustice, different types of social injustice, and now we are seeing really clearly more and more a corruption of science.
Yeah, whenever you're camping or boating, you can just light your blunt floating down the river, no problem, no wind, no problem.
I'm gonna do this for the Henderson. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do this for the band like damn, I'm at it again. Everybody know I ain't here to be friends. And we going on everybody know what's up. Everybody wanna see the weed smoke up.
Don't leave it to us that have been doing this for a long time. We need the next generation. We need the next generation not to be complacent, not to put up with this important step forward, but bullshit legalization, right? We need you to get active, get together, and get fired up, and to change things. And we're gonna come back in 25 years and say, damn it, we finally did it right. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That's right. We gotta get pissed off. Pissed off enough. That's right. 25 years ago, I came here to Seattle and I was pissed off at seeing what was going on. That's what needs to happen with you guys.
Ability to grow here as many strains as a patient needs, reasonable plant counts. We also need to be allowed to share. I've been involved in this community for more than 20 years, and this is a very compassionate community. They share medicine with people who need it. It needs to continue.
How many of you guys would like to be able to plant a cannabis plant in your backyard and not get harassed? All right, well that's what the future looks like, okay? So stay involved, get involved. Thank you for being here. Party hard.
What's the black one? Northwest Cannabis Solutions, #1 processor in Washington State. Contact us about dope.
We've got 4-footers, we've got 3-footers, we've got 1.5 foot bongs for sale.
All right, $20 please.
before you all leave, go to this little green box.
And in the meantime, happy anniversary, Hempfest! So I'll let you go ahead and grab the mic next out.
So we're very concerned in Canada because we've recently had the Liberal government telling all of the police across the country marijuana is illegal, continue arresting Canadians, continue raiding dispensaries, enforce the law as it stands. And we're working on how to legalize. We'll get back to you next April. For me, and for many, we're not content with that, and that's why Mark Emery, my husband, who spent 5 years in the United States here for financing legalization, he's home, and we've decided 3 months ago to finally start selling marijuana openly to all adults, healthy or sick, whatever personal reason you want. So cannabis culture, which has 20 years of history in activism and media and public advocacy, we are now pushing the limits and saying this is what legalization should look like. The freedom for all to access and use it as they see fit. No lists, no need for any sort of scrutiny. And that is what we're doing now. Right before I came here, I went back to Toronto to reopen our store that got raided by police and to hook up a generator because they cut our power and to say we will not go away. It took civil disobedience, it took ignoring the law, and that's what we have to do now more than ever, especially since Justin Trudeau is lying about legalization.
$850,000 to throw this fatty Freedom Fest. The finest fest in the West, the best. We won't talk about the rest, because there are no rest. There's no other rally. Where can you come down in a beautiful park on the waterfront in an urban center with 120 bands for free, 120 speakers from all over the country, 400 arts, crafts, and informational vendors, 1,000 volunteers on 118 crews, and this much freedom? Nowhere! We're going down! Please support us! Give it up! Hippie shit! Hippie
You're smoking a bowl and you're taking a hit. You're rolling a joint and you're keeping it lit. Bringing it home, just won't quit. Bringing it home, want it a bit. I want peace, love, hippie shit.
Vegetarian and vegan options. Fresh made lemonade, fresh made everything.
All organic. So this is my message. Canada sounds like it's good, and similar to how Washington, the message of legalization is good, we all know where the devil is. It's in the details, and we will forever and always be fighting for liberty, and we just have to keep pushing and take what you can get and always ask for more, and I promise to keep doing that so we don't have a colossal failure of legalization in Canada.
The way to do it is an ounce of butter, a gram of cannabis, and a pan of water. When you low boil that, the water makes the cannabis come in contact with the oil and then extracts it that way. The interweb says 24 to 36 hours. No, they forgot to decarb. We already did that. So, all you need to do with that is like 15 minutes. Strain it, hot water to rinse the cannabis to get the last butterfat off, and here's the fun part. You put the water and the butter, or ghee, in the refrigerator. Oil floats to the top, the butter solidifies into what looks like a green LP. Pick that off carefully, throw the water away, it's worse than bong water.
I said an eagle took my wiener dog and it flew away. And now we all need something to eat. But my wiener dog isn't your eagle meat treat. Eagle took my wiener dog, flew away.
I think that these landrace genetics that we love are still there.
They're just not being commercially produced because the commercial producers think we want the hybrids, all right? So in my mind, I'm thinking Highland Oaxaca, Thailand, Kashmir, wherever, there's no grandmother back there. She's growing herb for the village, for whomever, and she doesn't care about the money on the thing. Her primary concern is growing the same pot her grandmother grew. And the reason I feel strongly that she is still there is because I'm sitting here, all right? I survived this thing. I think someone out there in these third world countries or undeveloped nations do as well.
My favorite smoke has probably got to be Blue Dream.
Vortex.
Girl Scout Cookie Dabs. Rosin BHO.
I'm mostly a flowers girl who likes joints. Used to hit the bong all the time, if anyone remembers what a bong is anymore, because everybody's dabbing, but I won't say no to any form of cannabis because it's the flower and plant of life, and I'm always happy to partake.
Well, I like Riddle Blue. That's my favorite shit. And Purple Moon Rocks.
My favorite smoke right now is my own Vanna Luna, cured for 2.5 years in glass, and I have a new favorite up and coming. I got to see how well it cures out, but I'm calling it Happy Pussy.
Grape God is a great ruderalis, very flavorful.
Favorite smoke is anything indica. I particularly enjoy recently the Tahoe Alien OG. It's the flavor of the week.
Well, the UW, there's the old UW strain.
My favorite smoke, hands down, is Gorilla Glue. Absolutely, through and through.
That's a good question. Blue Dream puts me
No, for
It's
real.
named so well.
Oh, it is. I don't know.
White Widow.
I don't know. I didn't know there was more than one. Right here.
Is that? I don't know if I can.
Probably blunts. Love smoking blunts.
I got some lemon haze the other day. It was freaking delicious out in Tacoma where I'm from, so it was really good.
What do you mean, like tight? Or like, I like smoking weed. I don't know what else to say. The kind that will get you high.
Generally whatever's in my hand at the moment. I prefer a sun-grown to an indoor. I've been enjoying the indicas lately, some Granddaddy Purples, some Urkels, but I really like sativas, generally my go-to, although hybrids are always nice.
Oh, golly. Wow. I want to say Blue Dream.
That's true.
There we go. Great babe.
Yeah. All of it.
I definitely have a conflict of interest there, but I prefer Washington's Finest Cannabis Reserve strain.
I'm quite into the California orange family. Anything with the tangerine dreams, all the way through tangerine itself.
Favorite smoke? Rosin. Is that how you say it? Is it rosin? God, I say it wrong every time. Yeah, say it wrong every time.
Oh, my favorite smoke. I would say our Cherry Sherbet. You should definitely try it. It's in the private reserve bags.
G13.
Oh, AK-47.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a sprout test a couple years ago, the end of 2014. And normally when I do a sprout test, if I don't have a place to put the seeds, I end up eating them. I call it my $1,000 salad. But I had a place to send these, and we actually had something present itself that I liked quite a bit, and ended up naming it Happy Pussy. All right. Now, mind you, okay, let me explain. The logo will be the Cheshire Cat. All right, and the symbol will be the Cheshire Moon, and it will say "Happy Pussy." It makes you purr. What were you thinking? Right? But it does. It makes me purr. I really like this stuff. It's sweet. It's very sweet. No high notes. So that's what I've had recently.
Okay, Sonny, what's up?
Oh,
want to thank the Seattle Police Department, the Port of Seattle Police Department, Medic 1, AMS, the Port of Seattle. They've been working with us through the permit process. They've been working with us for years, keeping us safe. They're in complete contact all day long, every day with our own Seattle Hempfest Safety Patrol. We respect all first responders who put their lives on the line. All we're about is changing the laws. We have no enemies at Seattle Hempfest. No human enemies.
Who's got a light? You got a light. Somebody light. Put one hand in the air. And just thank whoever you thank for the opportunity to do what you're doing right now. Bring the beat back.
Stage crew! There we go. Oh my God! Bongzilla's doing it. My God, he is actually smoking on the bong. It's come to impress. I mean, look at this guy. Even my mom made it up here for 420. That's right. 86 years old. So bring your friends. That's right. Bring your bongs. Bring your moms. You know, just bring it all.
It seems surreal, bizarre, like it's a dream. I walked through this place this morning and I just see people everywhere and they're just hanging things and moving things and building things and riding by. Everybody has a job, everybody knows what they're doing, everybody is striving for excellence to make this one-of-a-kind protestable, this really one-of-a-kind event. It doesn't happen like this anywhere in the world, in an urban center, in one of the jewel parks, right down on the waterfront. You don't get this much freedom in Amsterdam, I can guarantee it. I've been there many times. There's nothing like the Seattle Hempfest.
Who did that? That's nice. I like it.
Did he call you before, right? How you doing? Good. Right here. Yes. Yeah, my dad. What you
Thanks for rocking. Thanks for listening. Keep smoking. Keep chiefing. Keep getting high. Keep influencing, man. Thank you.
am currently working on the Yes on I-182, a new medical marijuana initiative out of Montana. Basically, right now, our current law, SB 423. Hello? Oh, there we go. Basically, SB 423, our current law, limits providers to only 3 patients each and only allows doctors to prescribe to 25 patients a year without any medical review, or I guess a review by the medical board. Essentially, they get in trouble and reviewed if they prescribe to more than 25 patients. That includes cancer doctors, pain doctors, things like that.
When you go and you do tests on buds that are grown outdoors, there's a lot of stuff on there besides THC and CBDs, that sort of thing. There's all kinds of things, bugs and dust and dirt.
How should people feel about that when they're told that their product is better for an extract? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
You know, you come into the shop, you know, and you got all this outdoor, and I can't sell it. I can't, you know, nobody wants it because it doesn't have that crystal trichromes and the buds. You know, everybody's used to perfect indoor buds that are all hand trimmed nice and everything. And if you come in with leafy outdoor, you know, people just look at it, and you may think it's the greatest stuff on earth, but I swear to God, I could not give it away. I just stopped even taking samples of outdoor weed because nobody wanted to buy it. So, you know, talking about outdoor and everything, like I said, I think it's going to go more towards the outdoor will be for edibles and for extractions and stuff, and indoor will be what people smoke, you know. Down in Oregon, you know, we've always had really good outdoor weed. You know, we've always been known all over the United States as having the best outdoor weed. But when I was down there in the shop, I literally couldn't give it away. I would have a certain strain, let's say Gorilla Glue, that tested out the same, grown by the same farm, grown in soil, tested out 26%. I couldn't give the outdoor grown away at $7 a gram, and I couldn't keep the indoor in stock at $12 a gram. And it was basically, when I smoke it, it tastes very similar, the high was very similar, but the bag appeal wasn't there.
Because they're depriving us not of a drug, of an essential nutrient. You use more, you live better. You lose less, use less, you live less better. Crimes against humanity.
I said verbal and that's about y'all perverts. So tell me again what's your name, what's your purpose? I said fuck them scenery and all this behavior, but it's still secretly unbelievably believing to me. Tell me again what's your name, what's your purpose? Tell me again what's your name, what's your purpose? This resident feel like the president.
last thing, I want you guys to start growing in Washington, home growing. You guys really need to push for that. And you're asking what the 25th really means? It means activism and getting out there and pushing so you can grow these plants at home where you're given right. Good.
Thank you everybody for being here today.
Righteous, don't protest, don't ignore the little voice inside your head, it's not feeling. Righteous, don't protest, don't ignore the little voice inside your head, it's not your feeling. Righteous, don't protest, don't ignore the little voice inside your head.
And I compliment you and thank you for the hospitality, and I just share the love. We all love you and really support you. So thanks. So the cannabis culture has always been proud of how when we use cannabis, we use less of the damn pharmaceutical industry's pills. That's what we do. So it really wasn't a surprise to us when the science showed that overdose rates drop. Wow. So this is really important stuff. This isn't just having a choice. This isn't just a liberty issue. This isn't even just a human rights issue. It's a matter of life or death.
All right, so tell your senator, tell your national politician to put that word through. Tell your Democratic Party leaders. Do whatever you can. Just make a phone call. It'll probably be a friendly call. You might really be surprised at the fun you have with this. So do some homework, okay?
Yeah, get what you like. But if you think you got it all, yeah, well, you lost your mind. Yeah. Here we go now.
The last thing I'll say is the media takes our press release that we're asking for a $10 contribution for a basic supply. Oh, it's going to be the last Hempfest. Hempfest is going down. That's not our spin. That's not our message at all. If I have to sell a kidney, Hempfest is not going down. Even kidneys get stoned, you know.
She's on my mind, yeah, we're gonna elevate. She's on my mind, yeah, we're gonna levitate.
You know, I'm 68 years old. I've used cannabis for 52 years on a daily basis. I start off my day with 100 milligrams of oil. And I can tell you that it changes your mind when you do this regularly. And you don't get high in the same way, but you become high. And I think that that's what evolution has always selected for. If you look in the brain, the complexity of our brain goes up, and the increase also goes with more cannabinoid receptors in the evolutionarily advanced areas of our brain. So when you're getting stoned, what you're doing is you're tasting what it's like to be a future human being, based on what's happened all along. It's whatever you want to label God, it's God's will. You know, my friends are the Ethiopian Zion Coptics, and they say that cannabis is the sacrament. And I'm a hardcore conservative scientist, and I say they're right. So we need more cannabis. It's an anti-aging drug. It regulates everything in our society. Our world is run by the blips, the cannabinoid deficient people. We are run by the equivalent of modern day cavemen. And they incarcerate those of us who are more open-minded, who represent the future. This is racism. This is fundamental racism of the cavemen that run the world against the future people. Thank you.
To say to Hempfest. We're glad to be here. Thank you. thank you guys. I mean, obviously, for putting on such an amazing festival. We couldn't do it without you. The state couldn't do it without you, and the advocacy you guys bring to this community is absolutely amazing.
Hempfest, you're the best. 25 years of setting the model of what a cannabis event should look like. Hundreds of thousands of people, millions over all these years, and a message sent to the world that this is what cannabis hemp freedom looks like.
I love you, and please don't go away. Keep happening. You make this place great. And people come from all around the world to come here, so.
Keep it going, man. Keep it growing. We still got a ways to go. We're not out of the woods yet, but a lot of where we're at has to do with events like this and people coming together in the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you indeed, yes. Hopefully it stays around so my kids can see it.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this every year. You guys are out here. Steve keeping it positive. I love you guys. Thanks.
Thank you guys for putting this on, for protesting against the man, and thanks to you guys, I get my freedom, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.
I love you all. Thanks for doing what you do. I'm proud to be a part of Hempfest.
Just glad to be here.
I love you.
Yeah,
I love you so much, Hempfest. Cheap bumps.
Keep it going. This is the best.
Thank you everyone for coming out and supporting. You know, it's a volunteer-driven event, and we really appreciate everyone who contributed this year. It's been really fun. As you can see, we got tons of people out here and it's super popping. So thank you. See you guys next year.
Thank you for having us. We're having such a good time. There's so many lovely people.
I hope it keeps going as long as it can.
Me too.
I wish it never goes away at all.
And I can't wait to come back next year.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we support you, and we hope to continue this for years to come.
Try and get the pier down there. We should have Front Street too. We really should. It'd be easy.
Good luck.
Thanks. Thank you for having this event. Again, where's the carb cut?
I hope this continues to grow because this has been such an amazing and supportive environment helping normalize the consumption of cannabis. And so I really hope that this is something that continues to grow instead of dwindles out since the legalization.
Thank you guys for everything that you've done over the last 25 years.
Keep going strong. 50 years. Let's go. We've done 25. Let's double that. 50.
Yeah, keep on being number one.
Hempfest, you rock! How do you get so many volunteers to work so hard?
I love you.
Let's go 25 more years, man. Let's just do it till we're all old and then our kids can take it over. For the week.
I love you guys.
The reason cannabis has been used for 10,000 years is not because the FDA approved it, but because it works. And the same is true with aspirin. Cannabis should have been grandfathered in, but it didn't fit into the paradigm of greed and narrow-mindedness from the people who are controlling the world. If you are cannabis deficient, you cannot tolerate change, because change is always stressful because you have to adapt. That's what everything's about. You are here because evolution selects for adaptation and nothing more. And yet our world is run by the people who are less able to adapt and are putting us into their box and then saying, because you don't conform to the rules in our box, we're going to put you in another box. We're going to put you in jail. Fuck them. This whole world is changing. We are undergoing a revolution of consciousness. It's a natural part of evolution, and we're going to have people who want to demand their own rights to use their own plant and their own medicine. and they're going to do it. They're not going to be able to turn back what's happened in these states. Forget it. They cannot do it anymore. So we're going to have the federal government approving drugs that you can get in the by a prescription, and that'll be covered by your health care. And then you're going to have people who don't give a shit about that, and we see this happening right now. People are more willing to spend their own money to get a medicine that's good for them and that works, rather than get free toxic poisons just because the government has created that world of insanity.
I enjoy the heck out of registering people to vote, because that is one of our most important things to do, the right to vote. So I urge everybody, vote, vote, vote.
We'll be here tearing down, cleaning up. I want to thank the 100-person core group that meets every month of the year. Our 9-person board of directors, and especially the Seattle Hempfest Safety Patrol, and all the rest of our 118 crews. Thank you so much. Don't drive impaired. Be safe. See you next year. Good night. Hempfest is closed.
Colors of the rainbow, they're so pretty in the sky, but also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, just saying, how do you do? What they're really saying, oh, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more, or I'll ever know. Then I think to myself, you know I do.